Hey there, my name is Alex, and this is the first episode of a web series that's going to be about the maker culture, makerspaces in general, and the Columbus Idea Foundry in particular, which is a makerspace that I founded about 10 years ago. The whole series is going to be about how makerspaces can empower neighborhoods to activate innovators all around the world. Anyone who's got an idea that wants to turn it into an art project or an innovation or retail product, right now it's a little bit hard to do that. But I think that it's going to be much easier in the near future, and hopefully this web series will explain why. The lofty title is Innovation Neighborhoods, or How to Create 10 Billion Educated and Empowered Problem Solvers. So if this culture spreads around the planet, and I know that's an ambitious goal, but 20 or 30 years from now I think it's possible, I think we can see a world where everyone is an educated and empowered innovator. And that's a world that I want to live in. We're here at the Idea Foundry in good old Columbus, Ohio. But before we go into what is a makerspace, what is the maker culture, I'd like to take a step back and ask, what's an innovation? Who's an innovator? And actually, I'd like to take another step back first and ask, what does it mean to be a human? A little question like that. And to use strong language, I think we've made a world that's so complicated now that when we're born into it, if we're lucky, we're sentenced to 25 years of school and 50 years of labor just to keep food in our belly and a roof over our head. I know that's strong language, but really that's how I see things. And again, that's if we're lucky. If we're not lucky, life is a lot harder. So what makes life easier? I would submit that that's technology. Technology allows us to do things that we can't currently do, or it allows us to do things we can do, but to do them much more efficiently, faster, better. So you might say, well, great, let's just get lots more technology. It's not that easy. Technology improves incrementally, one innovation at a time. And here you can pick your favorite innovation: fire, the wheel, penicillin, all manner of ways to illuminate or communicate. And you might ask, okay then, well, where do innovations come from? And you might say, they come from innovators. They come from geniuses like Da Vinci or Newton or Einstein. But I would submit that it's not enough for the innovation to have been discovered. Fire was a great discovery for humanity, but unless I've got a lighter or matches in my pocket, that really doesn't help me. That's where the industrialists come in. People who can manufacture these innovations cheaply enough and distribute them around the world efficiently enough that really they affect everyone's quality of life. I think that's when innovation and technology really helps day-to-day people. So here we have Edison and Ford and Musk. So what is a measure of innovation? Let's take the patent. A patent is a contract between the state and an inventor recognizing that they've come up with a new idea, and hopefully that new idea brings value to the world. So who makes the most patents? Where do patents come from? Let's look at universities. The top 100 worldwide universities in 2013 produce about 6,000 patents. That's a lot of good ideas, hopefully improving people's lives. Now, how does that compare to the top 100 worldwide corporations? In the same year, 2013, they made more than 100,000 patents, so almost 20 times as many as were generated at the top 100 worldwide universities. So we might derive the fact that universities are good at producing students, graduates, but maybe not great at producing innovations that improve our day-to-day lives. For this, it looks like business and industry might be a little bit better. But what about independent inventors, people like you or me? If we have an idea, how do we take that idea and patent it and spread it around the world? Is that an efficient process? Well, in 2013, independent inventors made about 20,000 patents. So that's almost 3 times as many as were made at all the worldwide top 100 universities, and about 15–20% of all the businesses. This is a significant number, and I think we can increase this number. So what is my equation for increasing the number of innovations? We won't go into it too much here. We'll look at it more graphically on the next slide. But I think it looks something like this. We have innovators, and they produce ideas. Some of those ideas are good ideas. And if we can easily take those good ideas and prototype them, make simple laboratory scale versions that you can kick the tires on, show to a customer, show to an investor, show to a manufacturer, show to a retailer, and get some feedback before you take it to manufacturing. I think that's how you fail fast, fail better, iterate to a good idea. Once you get through the prototyping phase, then you can go into manufacturing and distribution and retail to put it in the hands of consumers, to really put it in the hands of everyday people. Now, as we know, the world has a very robust global manufacturing network and distribution and retail from Amazon on down. So I think the bottleneck is really in the number of good ideas and prototyping those good ideas. So how do we open up that bottleneck? Well, I think we can get more good ideas if we have more innovators. So let's get more innovators. Hopefully that will lead to more ideas and hopefully some fraction of good ideas. And then let's make it very easy to prototype those good ideas, to take them out of your head, hold them in your hand in some form that allows you to test them, iterate them, and eventually show them to people who might manufacture them. I think if we can do this, then we can open up a pipeline from people's brains to the marketplace and improve everyone's quality of life with new innovations. So you might say, but Alex, not everyone's a genius, not everyone's an engineer or a scientist, and I agree, but I don't think you have to be in order to be an innovator. And I think Sir Ken Robinson feels the same way. He's an educator, he has one of the most watched TED Talks around, and he has a great quote that many highly talented, brilliant, creative people think they're not because the thing they were good at in school wasn't valued. And he likes to point this out with a fun little exercise. He'll draw this, and he'll ask people, what is this? And most folks, you or I, might say, it's a circle. But if you ask a 5-year-old child what this is, she might say, it's a ball, or it's the moon, or it's cake. So people are born creative, they're born playful, they're born curious and innovative. The trick is to keep them that way. And education has been designed to produce people who are good at working at factories or good at working in offices. But shortly, unfortunately, thanks to automation and robotics, many of those jobs in the next 10 to 20 years might be replaced. If you're working in a factory, a robot might do that job soon. If you're working in an office, an artificial intelligence software might do that job. It sounds far-fetched, but it's coming quickly. So then you say, okay, who are innovators then? Yes, you've got scientists and engineers. What about artists and athletes and musicians? Yeah, I think they're innovators too. What about school children, grandmothers, nurses, factory workers, house husbands, housewives, farmers? I think they're all innovators. And in fact, I think they can be more empowered innovators than engineers and scientists and geniuses, etc. Because innovation doesn't come from someone with their hands behind their head, their feet up on the desk, brainstorming about the next idea. I know that's a romantic vision, but that's not where innovations come from. For technically talented people, solving problems is easy. It's even fun. Finding problems is the hard part. And that's where everyday folks come into play. You only find problems when you're doing work. If you're a nurse in the operating room, if you're a farmer on the farm, this is where you encounter problems. And if you are empowered to solve those problems, then I think we're going to see a flowering of innovations that are going to help people all around the world. So that's who I think an innovator is. And in the next few episodes, we're going to talk about how makerspaces can activate innovators to realize their ideas. So thank you very much, and keep posted. We'll see you in the next few episodes. Take care.